In the last lecture, I discussed the basic introduction of 8086 processor. Okay, 8086 is a processor, microprocessor. Already we studied 8085 microprocessor. Now second is 8086 microprocessor. So after studying these two, you can able to compare what is the benefit of 8086 with respect to 8085. Okay. So today I'm going to discuss the architectures of 8086. So now you can see basically this architectures is divided into two parts. Okay, the one part is called BIU, that is BIU, and another is called EU. Okay, so the first is called bus interface unit. The BI is called bus interface unit. Bus interface unit, and EU is called execution unit. Execution unit. Okay, so what is the use of BIU and what is the use of execution unit? You have to see that. So for that purpose, the BIU is responsible for all types of data transfer. Okay, all data and types of data transfer and address on the buses. Let us consider if you want to fetch the data from memory location, then it is bus interface unit will be. You can see here whatever the registers are available in the 8086, all registers having 16 bit. Okay, so if 16-bit register is there, but the address of the 8086 is of 20-bit. So how can you convert this 16-bit into the 20-bit? Without converting, you can't able to access the address lines, okay, or memory locations. So for that purpose, we are trying to convert these values into 20-bit address location. Okay, so at that time we are using the shifting property. I will discuss in the detail in the register set. Okay, just for information you can understand here. Now in these sections there are three types of buses will be used. One is called C bus, another is called B bus, and another is called A bus. Okay, the A, B, C is just for a specification. It is written A, B, C. It means that it is three different buses. Okay, in the 8085, if you are talking about the address bus and data bus. Okay, but in the here I am talking three different types of buses. So you can see that what is the use of these different buses. So I already mentioned in the sentence different buses. It means A bus is different, C bus is different, B bus is different. Different in what sense? In the sense of bit size. Okay. So the first A bus, the A bus is a internal 16-bit bus. Okay. Internal 16-bit data bus. Internal 16-bit data bus. Okay, which is used for ALU. So whatever the instructions, whatever the data you are going to give to the processor to do any operation, for that purpose the A bus will be used. The next is B bus. So you can see with the help of B bus you can generate a 20-bit physical address. Okay, so 20-bit physical address, how you are generating that? Let us see that these all registers each of 16-bit. So if you want to convert this 16-bit into 20-bit, since if you are not able to convert 20 bits, you can't able to access the memory. So for that purpose, you have to convert this 16-bit data into 20-bit data. Okay, so for that purpose, we are multiplying by 10. So if your B while multiplying by 10 by in 16 bit, you are getting the 20 bit data. Okay, so I will tell you the rule how can you convert it, by which registers. These are all registers, I am talking about that, but you can just understand that the B bus.
Yes.
Hello. Okay, so the B bus is used to convert this 16-bit data into the 20-bit data so that the processor will access in memory locations, and then it can be sent the instructions to the instruction stream byte queue. If you are not able to generate the 20-bit data, it means that you are not able to access the memory interface. Okay, so now the next bus is C bus. So what is the C bus? C bus means you also can say that control bus. Okay, this bus is of 20 bit, 20 bit. Okay, so now the A bus is 16 bit data bus, B bus is 16 bit address bus, 16 bit address bus. Okay, and the C bus is 20 bit address bus. Okay, so you can differentiate in this way. There are three different types of buses: A bus, B bus, C bus. And A bus is a 16-bit data bus, B bus is a 16-bit address bus, and C bus is a 20-bit address bus. Okay, or you can also tell that 20-bit address bus or 16-bit data bus. 16-bit data bus. It means that you can either send a 16-bit data or you can send the 20-bit address. So if 20-bit lines are there, you can easily send 16-bit data, no problem in that. But in the 16-bit data, you can't able to send the 20-bit address lines. Okay. So in this way, there are three different types of buses will be used. So I'm talking about the BI unit. If BI unit is responsible for the handling all types of transfer of data and generating the address for the execution unit. Okay,
हेलो
so the
सर.
execution. हाँ जी,
हेलो सर, कुछ शेयर नहीं किए हो क्या अभी?
शेयर तो कर दिया
मतलब
हूँ.
शो नहीं हो रहा है प्रेजेंटेशन में.
लेट से आया होगा तुम. सो हो जाएगा थोड़ी देर में. किसी को नहीं हो रहा है.
हो रही है, हो रहा है सर.
इसका मतलब है थोड़ा देर वेट कर लो, आ जाएगा. ठीक है, तभी तो कहता हूँ टाइम से ज्वाइन कर लो. Okay, fine. So now you have to see that what is the use of BI unit and what is the use of execution unit. Execution unit, it means you understand that whatever instructions you are giving, that instructions will be executed by the processor. Okay, and the next is the BI unit is responsible for all types of data transfer. I will see one by one what is the working procedure of BIU, what is the working procedure of execution unit. Okay, all that. So, and next the instruction stream byte queue. Yesterday also I defined that what is the instruction stream byte queue. There is 6 different location. It means that you can conclude 6 instructions at a time in this instructions byte queue. Why it is kept like that? So since this architecture is based on pipelining. So where pipelining, what will happen? If the instructions, any instructions will go to for execution, the next instruction will be shifted to the next location. Okay, and this instruction, this location is vacant. Whenever this location is vacant, whatever is happening is with the in-memory interface, you can take the next instructions and you can put into the 6th one. What is the benefit of that? If you are using this type of pipelining architectures, you can speed up the execution speed. क्यों? क्योंकि अगर जो भी हम यहाँ पे इंस्ट्रक्शंस हम दे रहे हैं तो दूसरा इंस्ट्रक्शंस ऑलरेडी अवेलेबल है। अगर अवेलेबल है तो इसको सर्च करने की रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है, और जब तक ये अवेलेबल दूसरा एग्जीक्यूट करेगा तब तक ये क्या करेगा, सर्च करके यहाँ पे क्या करेगा, इंसर्ट कर देगा नेक्स्ट इंस्ट्रक्शन जो भी एग्जीक्यूट करना होगा। ठीक है, तो ये 6 बाइट्स की क्यू है, 1 बाइट, 2 बाइट, 3 बाइट, 4 बाइट, एवरी लोकेशन हैविंग 1 बाइट। Okay, so what about the execution unit? The execution unit tells the which type of instructions we are going to execute. Let us consider this control system will define that the first queue in first queue, whatever the instructions are available, that instructions going to the ALU, and it will execute the process and it will do the process. Okay, so the ALU will do arithmetic and logic operations. Whatever the results will be agreeing, it will go through this and it will send to the this data lines. With the help of this data lines, if you want to store, you can keep it to this. If you want to store in the registers inside the processor, then you can go through this way. Okay. So now on the next is you have to check the resistance set. What about the instruction stream byte queue works on FIFO? All of you know that, I think so. FIFO, first in first out. जो भी इस क्यू में पहले आएगा वो क्या होगा, पहले एग्जीक्यूट होगा, और जो भी बाद में आएगा वो क्या होगा, बाद में एग्जीक्यूट होगा। ओके, so now the first thing is we are talking about the, if this processor is there, this processor is having some frequencies. Okay, so initially, so I can erase these things. So initially it will made up for 5 megahertz. Okay, 5 megahertz. But in the latter stage, what will happen? It is defined as a for 8 megahertz and 10 megahertz. 8 megahertz and 10 megahertz. जैसे कि तुम लोग को पता होगा क्या होता है, जैसे मान लो Core i3 है, तो Core i3 प्रोसेसर में पहले क्या करता है, फर्स्ट जनरेशन, सेकंड जनरेशन, थर्ड जनरेशन, फोर्थ जनरेशन। तो व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन दिस जनरेशन? एनीवन कैन टेल? कोई जनरेशन डिफाइन कैसे हम करते हैं, डिफरेंशिएट कैसे करते हैं किसी भी जनरेशन को, कौन सा जनरेशन अच्छा होता है?
जितना ऊपर उतना जनरेशन अच्छा।
तो जनरेशन बनाने की जरूरत क्यों पड़ती है? व्हाई इट इज रिक्वायर्ड?
जो थे जनरेशन उसके ड्रॉबैक हटाने के लिए, स्पीड बढ़ाने के लिए।
यस, एक्चुअली होता क्या है कि जैसे मान लो कि मैंने कोई भी एक बेस पे मान लो 8086 ही बनाया, ठीक है, तो 8086 बनाया तो उसकी कुछ सर्टेन फ्रीक्वेंसी होगी, जैसे 5 मेगाहर्ट्ज है, ठीक है, इसमें नंबर ऑफ एड्रेस लाइंस, नंबर ऑफ डेटा लाइंस, नंबर ऑफ टाइमर्स, जितने भी चीज़ें इनबिल्ट है, सारी चीज़ देखते हुए हमने एक बना दिया। लेकिन आफ्टर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यू कैन गेट दैट यू आर गेटिंग सम ड्रॉबैक, सो यू आर ट्राइंग टू रिमूव द ड्रॉबैक। सो ड्रॉबैक रिमूव करने के चक्कर में क्या होता है कि हम क्या करते हैं, एट दैट टाइम क्या करते हैं, हो सकता है कि हम इनकी स्पीड को इंक्रीज करें, ठीक है, या कोई अगर प्रॉब्लम्स आ रही है तो उस प्रॉब्लम को रेक्टिफाई करें, तो उसके लिए हम क्या करते हैं, जनरेशंस का यूज करते हैं, ठीक है, फर्स्ट जनरेशन, सेकंड जनरेशन, थर्ड जनरेशन, ऑल दैट, ठीक है। सेम तरीके से क्या है, यहाँ पे सबसे पहले 5 मेगाहर्ट्ज के लिए बनाया गया, उसके बाद 8086A आया, ये डिफरेंट 2 फ्रीक्वेंसीज के लिए बनाया गया, 8 मेगाहर्ट्ज एंड 10 मेगाहर्ट्ज, ठीक है। तो 10 मेगाहर्ट्ज का भी, 8 मेगाहर्ट्ज का भी आता है, 10 मेगाहर्ट्ज का भी आता है, और 5 मेगाहर्ट्ज का भी आता है, ठीक है। ओके, नाउ कम्स टू द रजिस्टर सेट पार्ट। Register set part. In register set part, I already discussed that 14 registers are available in this architectures. Okay, and 14 registers, all 14 registers of 16-bit. You can just remember that. There are 14 registers are available. That 14 registers is of each of 16-bit. Now, this register set is divided into 4 categories. Okay, in 4 categories means what? The first is called data register group. The first is called data register group. Data register group. Data register group. Okay. So data register group is called, this section is called data register group. Better I can just denote that. This is data register group. Okay. So now this I told you data register group. So this is having 4 different registers. So 4 different registers, each register is having 16 bit. But we are talking about AH and AL, BH and BL, CH and CL, DH and DL. Okay. So this is called 8-bit, 8-bit H and 8-bit L. So I am concluding in 16-bit registers. So I am writing here AX. For B, BX. For C, I am writing CX. For D, I am writing DX. So these 4 registers is called data registers. Whenever you want to use the data, transfer the data, you can use these type of registers, these 4 registers, and you can perform any operations. Okay. So now next is called segment register. So there are 4 segment registers are available. So these 4 is a segment registers. Top 4. Okay. So this is a segment register. Segment register. Okay. So these 4 different segment registers are there. So how many total are there? 4 plus 4, 8. 8 registers are over. Now you can see there are 4 segment registers, that is called ES. ES indicates extra segment register. ES indicates extra segment register. CS indicates code segment register या data segment registers. Okay, both are same. SS is called stack segment register. So all types of segment registers are available. So 4 segments registers, and you can read it by names. Okay, code segment register, stack segment register, extra segment register, and data segment registers. Okay, so extra segment, code segment, stack segment, and data segment. These 4 types of different segment registers are there. Okay, so now the 4 plus 4, that is 8 registers. Now you can see there are 4 pointer or index registers. Which one? These 4. These 4 is called pointer and index registers. This is also 4. So it is called, first one is called DI. DI is called destination index register. I will tell you in details later. Okay. So just I am briefing that. SI is called source index registers. BP is called base pointer. SP is called stack pointer. So these 4 different registers is called pointer and index registers. Okay. So how many? 4 plus 4 plus 4. It is called 12. There are 2 more registers are there. Okay. So one is called IP registers. IP indicates instructions pointer. It is also called as program counter. Whatever the use of program counter in the 8085, so same it will work for the 8086. Okay, function is same. Now you can move to the one more is left. So one more is called flag register. You can see in the top of that flag register. It is also having 16-bit. In 8085, flag register is of 8-bit. Okay, but here it is called here it is 16-bit. So in this way, the 4 segment register, 4 data registers, and 4 pointer and index register, 1 flag registers, and 1 instruction pointer. Total how many are there? 40 registers will be available. Okay, we will see in the later stage what is the functioning of which registers, why these registers will be used. Okay. If you have any doubt, you can tell. Okay. So later you can see I went divided 8086 in two parts, BIE and EUU, as I discussed. Okay. Same thing is written here. There is nothing new one. So BIE handles all types of transfer of data addresses on the basis of EU. So BIE actually responsible for execution of whatever data or address is required for execution. This unit will provide to the processor. Okay. To transfer means you can send out the address, instructions fetching, reading and writing operand from memory, calculating the address from memory operands. Why it need calculating? Okay, calculation is required since the segment register is of 16 bit. If segment register is of 16 bit, then how can you convert this 16 bit into the 20 bit physical address? If you are able to convert the 20 bit physical address, then you can use the memory. Otherwise, you can't able to access the memory itself. Okay, so that's why it is calculating word is used, calculating the address of the memory operands. So you have to calculate the address. Okay. And also BIU contains instructions queue, segment registers, instructions pointer. So we will see one by one what will happening. So first we will start from the execution unit. You can see execution unit is this part. Whatever the below part is there, I have separated. So this is called execution unit. Okay. So in execution unit, what will happen? The execution unit tells the BI unit, bus interface unit, where to fetch instructions लिखो. इंस्ट्रक्शंस कौन सी फेच करनी है, कैसे पता चलेगा? ये BIU इंस्ट्रक्शंस प्रोवाइड करेगा, इंस्ट्रक्शंस का उसका एड्रेस प्रोवाइड करेगा, ठीक है, जिस मेमोरी लोकेशंस में इंस्ट्रक्शंस लिखा हुआ है, ठीक है, उसकी एड्रेस BIU प्रोवाइड करेगा, ठीक है. तो BIU प्रोवाइड करेगा, उसको क्या करते हैं, एंड देन द एग्जीक्यूशन यूनिट विल एग्जीक्यूट्स दैट इंस्ट्रक्शंस. तो सबसे पहले हमें क्या करना है कि मेमोरी से प्रोसेसर तक के इंस्ट्रक्शंस को ले जानी है, और ये काम कौन करेगा? बस इंटरफेस यूनिट, ठीक है. एंड देन दिस यूनिट, एग्जीक्यूशन यूनिट, कंसिस्ट ऑफ सेवरल थिंग्स, दैट इज कंट्रोल सर्किटरी, कंट्रोल सिस्टम्स, ओके, इंस्ट्रक्शंस डिकोडर, flags, ALU, register set. So these all things are available. So what is the use of this control system? The control system is used to direct the internal operation. See that here instructions byte Q is there. You can't able to take the instructions without information. अगर मान लो कि प्रोसेसर को जरूरत ही नहीं है तो वो एग्जीक्यूट नहीं करेगा. जैसे ही तुम असेंबलिंग का काम करते हो तो असेंबल में क्या करता है? ईच इंस्ट्रक्शन इज कन्वर्टेड इनटू ऑपकोड. अगर ऑपकोड में वो कन्वर्ट हो गया तो कौन सी इंस्ट्रक्शंस एग्जीक्यूट करानी है, ये रिस्पॉन्सिबल है, ठीक है. अगर इंस्ट्रक्शंस बाइट क्यू में है फिर भी वहां से डेटा हमें यहाँ पे क्या करना पड़ेगा? ट्रांसफर करना पड़ेगा टू एग्जीक्यूट द इंस्ट्रक्शंस. ओके. सो a decoder translates instructions fetched from memory into a series of actions which the UI carried out. Now what will happen when your instructions are available in instructions queue? Okay, then a decoder translates instructions fetched from memory. अब क्या है कि ये इंस्ट्रक्शंस बाइट में डेटा आएगा कहाँ से, ठीक है. तो ये कहाँ से आएगा? मैंने प्रोग्राम कहाँ लिखा है? मेमोरी में. तो मेमोरी से इंस्ट्रक्शंस क्यू में डेटा आएगा, ठीक है. तो ये इंस्ट्रक्शंस डिकोडर का काम. ALU पता ही है कि ALU का परफॉर्मिंग क्या होता है. कोई भी अरिथमेटिक लॉजिक ऑपरेशंस डू करता है, जैसे एडिशन, सब्ट्रैक्शन, ठीक है, XOR, NOR, इंक्रीमेंट, डिक्रीमेंट. दिस टाइप ऑफ थिंग्स विल बी carried out by the ALU. So now if you are using the register set, so register sets this AHL, BH, BL, if you are using individually, this is of 8 bit. Okay. So if you are combining that, this is called AX registers, this is called BX register, this is called CX registers, this is called DX register. Since this is a 16-bit processor, so maximum times you are using 16-bit data. Okay, but whenever you want to use the 8-bit data, you can also use the individual registers like AH, AL, BH, BL, CH, CL, DH, DL. Okay. So now these 4 registers are also called as dedicated registers. Which register is used for which purpose? Now you can see A indicates the accumulator. Already we studied that accumulator. Okay. B register, B indicates the base. C indicates the count. D indicates the data. So this is a special functions, but if you want to use any registers, you are free to use. There is no boundation in that. Okay. So whatever I told, this is written in this in the sentence. So I'm not going to discuss that. So now, first I will start with the flag registers. See, there are so many things are there. I will start with the flag registers. So the first thing is flag registers. In 8085, how many flags are there? Can anyone tell? In 8085, how many flags are there? In 8085, how many flags are there?
Or 5.
5. Which one?
Sign flag, zero flag, auxiliary flag, carry flag, priority flag.
Okay, so these 5 flags is also available in the 8086. You can see the flag registers of a 16-bit. Okay, so in 16-bit, 9 bits are used. So 9 is called active flags. In 16 bits, only 9 will be used. You can see this, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So all of you know that 5 flags of 8085. Okay, so these 5 flags are common in 8086. So it means that you have to study rest only 4 flags. Okay, so in 16 bits, only 9 flags will be used and the remaining 7 are undefined. So whichever the undefined flags are there, I can just put it the cross X. All of you know that X means don't care condition. So if you will use don't care condition, either it is 0 or 1. It doesn't matter or it does not affect the systems. Okay. So now in 16, 9 bits are used and 7 bits are undefined. Now in 9 bits, so in the total 9 flags will be there. Also 9 flags will be divided into 2 parts. Okay, one is called status flag and another is called control flags. So the 6th flag is indicated some condition, that is called status flag, and 3 flags indicated as called as control flags. So 3 control flags and 6 status flags. So what is the status flags? Just he will give the information. Just he will give the information, either carry is generated, parity bit is set, auxiliary carry is generated, either it is 0 or not, either it is positive number or negative number. Okay, so these types of flags comes under the status flags. Okay, So now the three flags is called control flags. So what is the meaning of control flags? So with the help of these flags, you can control the operation of the processor. You can control the operation of the processor. So you can see one by one. It is carry flag, then don't care condition, then parity flag, auxiliary carry flag, don't care condition, zero flag, sign flag, TF trap flag, IF interrupt enable flag, DF direction flag, OF overflow flag. So these different 9 flags are there. In that 9 flags, you know the operation of 5 flags. So why the carry flag will be used? Anyone? Why the carry flag will be used? When the carry flag is set or when the carry flag is reset?
When carry is generated, then carry flag is set.
Okay. What about zero
When
flag?
when the result is 0, the
Then?
0 flag is set.
Okay. So the carry flag, when carry flag is generated, then carry flag is set. When we are talking about zero flag, when the output will be 0, then it is set. What about the parity flag?
Number of ones is even, then set.
Okay. And what about auxiliary carry? How can you define the auxiliary carry? How can you define the auxiliary carry? auxiliary carry flag क्या होता है? भूल गए? auxiliary carry flag क्या होता है? जब डेटा कहाँ होता है 4 बिट से कोई भी कैरी जनरेट होता है, 4th बिट से 5th बिट में अगर कैरी कोई जनरेट होता है तो उसको क्या बोलते हैं? दैट इज ऑक्सिलरी कैरी फ्लैग. ठीक है. तो ऑक्सिलरी कैरी हम यूज कहाँ करते थे? ओनली बीसीडी ऑपरेशन में. ठीक है. तो दीज 3 flags have to discuss. 4 flag. One is called overflow flag, another 3 is called trap flag, interrupt enable flag, and direction flag. Okay. So these 4 flags I will discuss. So if you have any doubt, you can tell. We will not able to finish the flags, so I will discuss in the next class. If you have